All right, without any further delay, here it is, curated by the great Albert. This is Friday Fabulous Florida.
It's time for Friday Fabulous Florida.
There is a gigantic alligator in my kitchen.
A look at the weirdest stories from the weirdest state.
Let's start with a guilty verdict. A Florida man is found guilty of killing his wife for refusing to appear on a home renovation reality show.
Wow.
I stood down on the what, Albert? You didn't want to hear that?
What?
Okay, there we go. I stood back thinking Albert was going to hit it. He stood back thinking I was going to hit it.
Ever seen anything like this before?
Yeah, I think we've never.
There's never been anything like this.
Yeah.
I guess he really wanted to be on TV.
Man, I mean, it's pretty incredible. David Trons is his name. He was sentenced to life in prison. He murdered his wife 5 years ago.
Well, now he'll be on Dateline, so he got his wish.
It was called Zombie House Flipping, this reality show that he wanted to be part of it, and she did not. The couple was in the process of renovating their home, which quickly turned into a money pit, apparently. And he was hoping, David was, to get on the reality show to bail out this project, which was running into the red. She was excited about possibly, she was not excited about being on it, but I thought she wasn't so objecting to it initially. Yeah, here it is. Friends of Shanti told police that she was excited about possibly being on the reality show, but detectives believed that she was upset with the project and was making plans to leave David. That was what was really going on. So, but he did not. There were a lot of financial issues all around this renovation project. You got to know these renovations can really be ugly. And Shanti's name was not on the deed of the house. This guy does not sound very nice. So as she kind of was eyeing the exit, she was wondering why her name wasn't on the deed of the house. And again, he offed her, and 5 years ago it happened. Finally, the family gets peace. He gets a guilty sentence, and he can figure out how he wants to renovate his cell in Florida.
Because the project is still in the red, by the way.
He was going. I have some plans for our cell, and I'd like to share them with you. A wanted Florida man tried to throw cops off with an "I don't live here" sign. A Florida man wanted by the cops placed a sign outside his house reading, "Johnny Yates does not live here."
Ooh, it's a wild idea, but it just might work.
He's 41 years old. He was wanted by the Polk County Sheriff's Office on aggravated battery, false imprisonment, and tampering charges. Wow. Well,
If you get it in order, you get extra points.
deputies showed up at Yates's Lakeland home. They got a tip that he was holed up inside. When the deputies arrived, this is a quote, they noticed a note written on a dry erase board in front of a window that said, "Johnny Yates does not live here." A dry erase board? Never lied to us before, the cop said. Should we believe it? That's a very Grady thing to say, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like...
What he's got going here is a situation.
Yeah.
And the window
deputies-
panes are painted. Looks like they're painted or something smeared on the inside there.
Yeah, something smeared on the window, right. You've got something so you can't see in, and if you're watching on
That's not
YouTube, it actually...
suspicious at all.
The whiteboard says Johnny Yates does not live here. It's
the penmanship is pretty good.
I got to say, it's kind of a Hail Mary pass there at the end when you know you're wanted by the cops and they might be by.
They do also have the 1930s golf clubs out there too.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was just looking at that.
Yeah. Maybe that would throw them off the scent.
Yeah.
But deputies questioned someone leaving the house who confirmed that Yates was inside. Yes, so the cops have proceeded
sold
with the,
out.
A Florida man blames bad dreams for damaging his brother-in-law's car at 1 a.m. This happened in Marion County, Florida. Dude found himself behind bars after a late-night encounter. He drunkenly bumped into his future brother-in-law's car.
I'd be willing to bet my lunch that there's alcohol involved.
I just told you he was drunk, so he was. The bet is off. Cost hundreds of dollars to repair this car, according to the estimates. The twist in this incident, he told deputies he was at his relative's house at 1 a.m. because he was having bad dreams. There he is.
That's not fake. That's real.
Hector Garay Diaz was arrested and charged with felony criminal mischief.
That's the worst kind of mischief.
Yeah, that is the kind that'll get you into trouble. But he did, I mean, you got to say something in these situations. And he said, I was having a bad dream. Having bad dreams, literally, is the quote out of the police record.
What you are talking about.
Yeah, he said he was drunk at the time that his wife drove him there. Mm-hmm. And then when he bumped into brother-in-law's car, he said, he was not in his right mind. So you got to cut the guy some slack.
What would Grady say? Yeah, he went from a dream to a nightmare.
Yeah. Grady, you got to see it's right.
What he's got going here is a situation.
Well, camera captures a canal crash and rescue in Cape Coral. I'm betting that Albert has this video for you. A home security camera caught a car crashing into a Cape Coral canal, and then the rescue of the driver, because as you'll see, the driver is at a high rate of speed, swerving into a yard, hitting a bump, and then landing in this canal. Had to be rescued.
Oh, look at that. That's
dramatic.
A big splash.
Yeah. And into the water, the car goes like there's trouble. He was standing right on the edge of the canal. I can only imagine how he's feeling.
There's a guy in the red also just walking to the body of water and just sees the car flying through.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
he's probably
wild.
looking for gators, and he's like, "Oh no, a car!"
I know. I've got to blow this up so I can take on. Yeah, that's just that's just wild. Look at that guy. Wow, man, that's super Florida-like. The driver is stuck in the car for a few minutes as he tries to get around the deployed airbags. A bystander jumps into the canal and helps the driver get away as the canal swallows up the car. That's a scary but compelling piece of video.
Well, it looked like he was being chased by that car behind him.
Well, there's some reason that...
See them? They're kind of speeding together there, and then
I wonder if...
one goes off and one turns.
I'd be willing to bet my lunch that there's alcohol involved.
There might
Look at
be.
the Marty investigative team here. We're gonna get to the bottom of this.
If you could follow up, I would appreciate.
Although I like that it's a car crash in Cape Coral Canal. That's a lot of C's.
Yes, you're right. It's alliterative. Anytime you can make the Florida, crime blotter, and you can do it with alliteration, it's a good thing.
Ding.
A Florida man kidnapped and waterboarded. Then he called in a bomb threat. Two brothers and another man are facing federal charges following a kidnapping that took some bizarre twists. This is in Fort Lauderdale.
What?
Yeah. They kidnapped a dude at gunpoint outside his apartment in Plantation, Florida. Tossed his cell phone out of the car as they drove to a home where they took him inside. Eventually, they learned they had the wrong person, mistaking him for his coworker.
I'd be willing to bet my lunch that there's alcohol involved.
No, I don't. There's no reference to alcohol.
My bad. I'm sorry.
After the waterboarding, hey, dude.
Yeah.
Just want to tell you something.
Oh man, I think we got the wrong guy.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, I'm really. We know that we'd like to apologize to you because clearly we got the the wrong person.
It was wrong, it was stupid, and I'm trying to be a better person.
Yes,
Can't
we
even do the
shouldn't have. We
kidnapping
shouldn't
right.
have. We kidnapped the wrong person and we waterboarded the wrong person. He told cops that the men threatened him, put an electric drill to his skin, and pointed a firearm at him before dousing him with water in what prosecutors say is a simulated waterboarding process. He thought he was going to drown the dude who was taken hostage. The men began brainstorming how the victim could help lure the coworker to them, the guy they really wanted. They provided him with a cell phone and were able to access his iCloud account to find the
It's a
coworkers.
wild idea, but it just might work.
Yeah, wait a minute. Let's turn an F up into something good. This actually may help our mission. I've got a great idea. When they learned that the guy that they were going for was still at the business in Pompano Beach, they drove the victim there and asked him to get the coworker to come outside. Yeah, what do you think happened?
No, not coming outside.
Yeah. Instead, the man phoned in a bomb threat in an effort to get a rapid police response to the building. That's clever.
Yeah, it is.
Suspects arrested by law enforcement and remain jailed in Broward County.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you ever drew that timeline of this whole story from like beginning to end, that took so many twists and turns. And
Yeah.
then a random bomb threat at the end. So,
Do you think they had a dry erase board where they worked it all out?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. That's right. That cork board the thing that they do
With the
with
yarn?
the thread
Yeah,
and
the
the
red-
yarn.
yeah.
Yeah. Thieves in Florida use a tractor trailer to steal more than $1.6 million in alcohol from a U.S. distributor.
Are you,
Yeah.
I'd
willing
be
to
willing to
bet?
bet my lunch that there's alcohol
Well,
involved.
there is alcohol. I just told you there's alcohol. An investigation underway in Florida after burglars used tractor trailers, not just one, multiple, to steal more than $1.6 million worth of alcohol from a distribution company that carries brands including Jose Cuervo and Malibu rum. The theft began during the early morning hours. Republic National Distributing Company in Hillsborough County. Look, there
Look
they
at that
are.
guy dropping in.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Like it's the Thomas Crown affair. Like it's
That's what it
Mission
looks like.
Impossible. Here's a security camera video.
Wow.
You see him. Wow. They came in between 4:10 a.m. and 9:45 a.m. The thieves removed 4,277 cases of liquor from this major distribution company, and they loaded it into all of these tractor trailers.
Ooh, it's a wild idea, but it just might work.
Authorities believe this is the MO that's going to land these dudes in prison. They did not identify the suspects, but they have targeted this distribution area with those tractor trailers, and they are the nation's, or one of the nation's, largest wine and spirits distributors. 14,000 employees work here. So this isn't like knocking over some, warehouse liquor store.
But if you have all those options, you're going for the Cuervo and the Malibu? Really? Really, dude? Come on.
John has
Malibu's
an
like-
issue with your priority list.
Malibu's like 40 proof. That's like half strength.
It's
like
sad that
Cuervo?
you couldn't have been in on the planning, John.
Yeah.
Florida man.
They
Colin
should get
wants to
more
know-
years for the alcohol choices, but they should get it. But they should also get it back for doing the classic from the roof. From the
Yeah.
roof.
Yeah,
that's
you're
what
right.
I love.
That
That's
is,
cool. That's very
That is cool. That's super cool. Yeah, the drop in from the roof is
Yeah.
really great. So hang on.
It was great. I loved it.
Florida man breaks into woman's house, sits on her couch, and makes unusual request. No?
Like what? What does he
Well,
want?
let's find out.
I'm intrigued.
While you look at his booking photo, I will tell you that a Florida man is now behind bars, forcibly kicked his way into a woman's house, according to Marion County Sheriff. Daryl Davidson, arrested and charged with criminal mischief. He's 39 years old. Ladies, he, I think, is single. So
He is
there's
now.
that. Yeah. He may not be available to go out and like hit a movie or a cocktail for a couple months. The 39-year-old was reportedly yelling and belligerent outside a woman's home. That's when he tried to get inside the woman's home by kicking the front door. And then when he was denied entry on the second kick, he broke the door frame and the door opened. He then entered the woman's home, sat on her couch. He didn't try to commit any crimes while inside, but he did ask for water and something to smoke.
What?
What a weirdo.
Yeah. Well,
Where are my weed smokers at?
I don't think weed smokers kick doors open in general, but shortly after Davidson grew, I think other kind of smoking, like meth or whatever. Shortly after that, Davidson grew belligerent again, resumed yelling, and then he left the house.
Why are you yelling?
Yeah, it remains.
Why are you yelling?
Thank you. The man was taken into custody at his home, which is nearby. Deputies said he spontaneously had kicked the woman's door in because he was trying to warn her that she was in danger. That's his story.
From him.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean...
Who is having that conversation?
Well, he's having it, as it turns out, and in an effort to head off, I think, any additional problems. We don't like to do it, to pick a favorite Friday Fabulous Florida story, but the bylaws of the show require us to. And if you're watching either in replay or live in the chat, please indicate in comments or in the poll what your favorite story is. And if you need a reminder, let me just quickly run through them. The Florida man guilty of murdering his wife after she refused to go on a home renovation TV show.
Wait, you have to say the name of the show.
What was it called again?
Zombie
flip or something? Zombie flip?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I mean, that's
Kim's
very
right.
Florida, yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's zombie house flipping is what it was called.
He's like, well, I have to try to kill her. Oh, wait, it's not working.
She comes back as a
Maybe
zombie.
we could be real zombies.
The guy who wanted to throw the cops off who were after him by putting a dry erase board out front that says, "I don't live here." A Florida man blames bad dreams for damaging the brother-in-law's car in the middle of the night. The Florida man who goes full speed and launches into that canal and then has to be rescued.
Yeah. Wonder
The
if there are
dude,
gators in that canal.
oh,
you know?
that would have made the
Yeah.
story very,
Yeah.
very compelling, even more
Yeah.
compelling than it was. The dude who was kidnapped by the two who wanted actually his colleague, and they grabbed him, kidnapped him, and waterboarded him by mistake. Then, realizing their mistake, they had him go to his place of business to try to lure the guy out that they really wanted. Instead, he called in a bomb threat, and they end up in custody.
It was
The
wrong,
thieves
it
in
was
Flor-
stupid, and I'm trying to be a better person.
my bad. That's the greatest thing. Right.
Inept criminals.
My bad. I'm sorry.
I think we have the wrong guy. Oh, dude, I'm so sorry. We really wanted your colleague. I hope you won't hold this against us. We have one last favor we'd like from you. Thieves in Florida used the tractor trailers to steal more than $1.6 million in alcohol from that distribution center.
That's pretty good video.
Yeah. And the Florida man breaking into the woman's house, sitting on her couch and making requests for water and smokes, and then leaving in a tirade. These are tough, but we must pick a favorite. And so I ask you first, Kim, what do you think?
Well, since there was no wildlife in this week's Florida Roundup, I'm going to go with the whiteboard guy. Yeah.
Oh, the whiteboard guy.
Yeah.
Now, what's on the poll, Albert? Is that one of them, or what is it?
No, and the polls were actually a lot closer, but the bizarre kidnapping has taken the lead here, but only 37%. So there's 20, 23, and 19% for the others. So it's a pretty not one-sided. There's a lot of good options here for home renovation murder, crazy car story, bizarre kidnapping, and man breaks in, makes requests. Those are the options.
Those are your options. The Lebowski reference is quite appropriate. How about you, former fabulous producer John Daly?
John Daly.
When you ask what's on the poll, this is Florida, so it would be strippers, Mark.
That's
Strippers are
very
on the
good.
poll.
I get it. It's a poll.
I do like,
poll.
Yeah, I like dry erase board for originality. I like that, Kim. But I think I have to go for waterboarding cluster F. Because you know what?
I agree.
It's that stick-to-itiveness. You know, they didn't give up.
Undeterred when they had actually kidnapped the wrong person. That's a very good point.
Big shout
undeterred would be a ding word. Albert, what's the story that you like?
it'd be better for the show for me to pick something different. But that story just when I was reading it, I couldn't like it was getting better and better as you're reading on, and it took you on a wild journey. So it's I like the improvisation that they tried, and I like how it was all documented there for us to see
like
how
you
they
could
got.
hear the Benny Hill music.
Yeah,
as they're
Yeah, and you could
waterboarding.
see. I mean, it feels very Coen Brothers, like Fargo-ish in a way.
Right,
And it also, you can totally see how the movie could go dark, but also with humorous. There's
Artistic
absolutely a movie
cinematography.
there.
Yeah, definitely. Wide
So
shot.
I agree. I think the two guys who kidnapped the wrong guy and then try to write it, and I think that is your winner. And in the poll, Albert, again, what do we have?
Yeah, the home renovation murder, crazy car stories, bizarre kidnapping. The bizarre kidnapping is just running away now. We've influenced the vote, but
I
special
see.
shout out to the crazy car story. That was great footage. What a camera!
It was.
That really was. That is, those who are listening on the podcast, you should check out the YouTube, and we'll drop this video separately. That's Friday, Fabulous Florida for today.
This has been Friday Fabulous Florida.
There is a gigantic alligator in my kitchen.
Y'all come back now here.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.